Is there like a fight that you really want? Is there a fight that does it change day to day, week to week? Like a month ago, if I'd have asked you, was it a different person than today?
So a month ago, if you would have asked me, I would have said, it's Tony Ferguson. But then after Khabib was talking about retiring, and then Justin Gaethje was talking about fighting within 6 to 8 weeks, and then also Conor and Poirier were talking about fighting at 170. Dana White has made it very clear, if those guys are fighting at 170, they're not going to be, they obviously aren't going to be getting a title shot, anytime soon. As soon as Khabib retired, I was like, hey man, I'll fight Justin Gaethje next week for the title, 6 weeks from now, November, December.
Fuck, I'll fight him at the breakfast buffet in the morning.
I'll fight him tomorrow morning before the plane takes off. Let's just keep the octagon set up. Let's go. So
that was then. So at that point, you're like, yeah. So Khabib's retired. That kind of changed things.
It changed things, and I said, hey, I'll fight Dustin, or I'll fight Tony or Gaethje for whether it's a number one contender spot or whether it's for the title, because you had Conor and Poirier talking about fighting 170, so they were almost out of the discussion. Still, right now you have Conor and Poirier. Looks like it's almost done. It looks like they're going to be fighting at 155, so those two are booked. You got Gaethje, who just fought, so chances are he might want a little bit of time off. So I think Tony Ferguson. I say Tony Ferguson for two reasons. Number one, he makes the most sense because he's been the guy who sat out the longest, and secondly, if I do think Khabib is coming back, I would say he's beaten Conor. Khabib has beaten Conor. He's beaten Poirier. He's beaten Gaethje now. And the only fight left out there for him was the Ferguson fight. But if I beat Ferguson, I leapfrog Ferguson, and now you get Chandler Khabib for his 30-0 fight or 29-1 fight instead of Tony Ferguson.
Wow.
So that kind of gives me the best option to win, leapfrog him, fight a top 5 guy, and be the most appealing matchup, the most challenging matchup for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Wow. Was it disappointing when, and have you talked to Tony about it? You guys had some exchange about it, right?
We had an exchange a little bit, and then even he commented on one of my Instagram posts, like, train hard, see you soon, CSO.
He's such a unique guy. He's such like a... Yeah, he's such a anomaly kind of.
He's an anomaly. He's a unique guy. You don't know what he's gonna say, and then you also don't know what he's gonna do inside the cage.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's wild, and it's just like, I think it's a perfect. It's a fight that scares me. So it's a fight that's great. It's great for me. It's great introduction for me. So he's a top 5 guy. He's a scary guy. He was 12-0 before, or he was on a 12-fight win streak before he lost his last fight. We can't forget that. Like, he's still one of the most dangerous guys in the division. Definitely the most unpredictable guy in the division.
And how quickly that gets forgotten after the Gaethje fight.
Quick.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, how quickly suddenly he seems like there's this, he's not the same guy.
Exactly. And granted, he took a lot of damage in that fight, but still,
Jesus.
man, like we all take damage. We all win or lose, we take damage. So it's just. It is a very much, and that's the hardest thing about it, but I think it's also the most beautiful thing about it, because some of the fans do realize what us fighters have to go through, like that our head is on the chopping block essentially every single time we fight, where it's like, man, it's a what have you done for me lately business. But going back to, like you were talking about Poirier, it's like, it's cool to see he's become a hero, win or lose. He's been one of those guys who are going to come in. If he wins, people love him. If he loses, people are rooting for him, wanting him to pick himself back up and get back in the win column. And I looked at myself that kind of same way. I'm gonna come into the UFC, no matter what. I might have 5 fights left in me, 12 fights left in me, but either way, there's a bunch of big fights out there for me to just have a blast, to be put on this awesome platform. Who knows? I could go 500 the next 6 fights. I could go 8-0 my next 8 fights. I could win the title and hold it for 10 years. I don't know. So we'll see.
Good evening, good afternoon, and other times. Thanks for watching that video you just saw. I mean, it was okay. But the next video you could watch could be way better. What if you watch a video right now that changes your life? Well, you could watch this one, or watch this one. Watch this one, watch this one, watch this one. Ah!